go again, folks. This is my last front load. Then I got Agape to do, and then I can, kick my own ass again, drink another one of these again. Pleh. What is time off? I wouldn't know. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. In the description box, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals from all over the world in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavioral modification program. Matter of fact, JRC doesn't want you reading this article so much, they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they do not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill, folks. Please read that article and share on all your social media. We also have NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, and I linked to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC has the balls to see through with their threat. We got the pertinent links to the Agape boarding school situation as well. Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that takes in so-called troubled male teens that has and pending over 21 allegations, claims, and civil lawsuits leveled against it. All these claims have been substantiated by hard evidence found in the investigation done on them by the Missouri Department of Social Services. These allegations include sodomy, rape, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, and starvation, just for starters. We got one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another a doctor still on the premises up on multiple substantiated claims of sodomy, rape, and sexual assault of the students there. We have an attorney general who can't be asked to do his job even during the last few days of him being in office. And we have a governor who's up on a power trip. So please read all those articles and share on all your social media. Don't forget to share and sign the change.org Shut Agape Boarding School Down petition. We got the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign as well, including Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? All right, trigger warning. We are about to descend into the mad ravings of the lunatic mind known as Dr. Matthew Israel. You're going to hear victim blaming. You're going to hear completely, absolute, bad, horrible, biased takes on the alternative treatments out there, which is completely based on garbage. It's going to be generations. It's going to be so easy to tear apart. I doubt I even have to blink or break a sweat. So just be prepared for that, all right? All right, doctor, you want to play my field? Let's go. When aversives are not used, all of the following practices are found, each of which is less desirable than a brief 2-second skin shock. Use of ineffective positive-only procedures. Aren't you a doctor supposed to be based in science? Then why are you using biased terms like ineffective? How do you know they're ineffective? Have they actually been tried? No. They haven't, folks. These kids did ABA in public school and then got sent to this place. But they won't tell you that, though. They want you to believe they've tried everything. Use of psychotropic drugs. Again, with the fucking drugs. I feel like I'm watching the AH case and I'm listening to Rottenborn again. Drugs, 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 drugs. What do you know about psychotropic drugs, doctor? Was that the field you studied in? No, it wasn't. In fact, this doctor's degree did not allow him to prescribe any form of medication of any kind, which makes it insane that he oversees the medication and the withdrawal from it over these kids when he does not have any. None, zilch, nada knowledge in this field. You're using the same line you used in the 70s, doctor. Are you really so stupid that you do not think we know and understand that pharmacology is not the same as it was in the fucking 70s? Use of takedowns, which you do, doctor. You do indeed do takedowns because we got surveillance footage. Use of manual and mechanical restraint, which you use when you tie. What the fuck do you call tying someone on a 4-point board face down with a helmet and shocking them over 31 times, doctor? Because part of that is manual and mechanical restraint. Use of warehousing, which you do. Use of timeout and seclusion rooms, you do it. Expulsion, you do it. And treatment of individuals with severe behavior disorders, these are real alternatives to the use of adversives. I love how you use this because it's projection, doctor. Let's talk about this before we descend into his stupidity. This doctor wants you to believe he doesn't do any of these things, when in actuality, he does every single fucking one of them. You think those kids submit eagerly, head down, respectfully to those shocks? No. What you do is a mechanical restraint, doctor, to anyone with a fucking decent head on their shoulders. Takedowns. You use them all the time. We've seen the footage. You take them down, you tackle them. You've had staff that's literally been caught on camera punching and beating the shit out of one of the students. Yeah, we know about that. We've read the dossier reports of those takedowns, doctor, one after one, year after year. In fact, a far larger amount than people like, I don't know, Art. Far larger than you, far less reports of takedowns. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder who's the expert and who's not. Because I'm going to pick the largest provider of services in the United States. Not this small, obscure place in Canton. Use of mechanical and manual restraint. Isn't it you, doctor, who use restraints to and from the school? Handcuffs, even. Something that is not actual medical restraints. Belts, I remember, have been used. But you don't restrain people? I know for a fact that one of these students died due to improper restraint, face down, to a bed, tied there by belts, where he died of asphyxiation. But you don't do restraints. Tell that to his parents. Warehousing, what do you call what you did to Andre McCollins, where you left them there for 31 hours? Timeout seclusion rooms. We know from the New York report you will actually leave someone in a conference room for hours on end. Expulsion, we do know for a fact when a student speaks out about your school, you will threaten the parents who don't fucking know any better with expelling the kids. Those are not the only alternatives. That is a lie, doctor. Positive behavioral reinforcement does not involve literally any of this. But his school does. Everything he just mentioned in that underlined, emboldened paragraph, his school does every single one of them. Every last one. Except for the drugs. No, instead, we have a doctor not trained in psychiatry or pharmacology overseeing the withdrawal from serious fucking medications of these kids. And nobody sees the problem here because that's how some kids can end up dead. Yeah. It's the AH defense, isn't it? I'm going to project onto my enemies everything that I do. See, the problem is, Doctor, we got DESI reports, we've got survivor testimony, and we have your own surveillance cameras, all that give the lie to everything that you said. In fact, we have your own handbooks and your own words, because we know you actually use those restraints in the buses that take these kids to and from the school for their own safety, but they're free from mechanical and manual restraint. But you do it. That's a lie. Lies. My God. The doctor does everything in this paragraph except responsible medication to the detriment of your child's mental, psychological, and physical health. Let's not forget the fact that he also makes these kids, quote unquote, sing for their supper. What that means is he makes them perform like performing seals, forcing them to be neurotypical, or as we call it in the autistic world, masking, in order to not be tortured. And the psychological damage that fucking does, teaching us that as we are as human beings will never be accepted. So we must be to pretend to be someone else every day of our fucking lives. And even then, folks, we're still never accepted because that label is still fucking there whether we mask or not. I'm gonna close out on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.